Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Friday. Good morning, Gabriella. Good morning, Safe. Good morning, Goran. Good morning, Suarez. How are you? Good morning, everybody. I'm ready for a good day. How about you? All right, guys. Good morning, Pool Man. Good morning, good morning. Yeah, yesterday we had basically we traded in our private room and we didn't stream on YouTube. Um, we do that from time to time just to kind of get our focus on the traders we have in the room. But we're here. It's today. It's Friday, and we are ready to rumble. That's what I say. So let's take a quick look at the broader indices and commodities and see what the market has been doing in the past Globex session. We can see a couple of things going on. When we're looking at crude oil right now, we broke channel number 2 of this movement, and that break came in right here at 88.29, and the market established a new harmony wave and a new channel to the upside, channel number 1, and we hit target number 1 in the sequence. So now what we're seeing here is the market is taking a pause from that short momentum that we experienced. It's a persistent momentum, and a couple of things can happen here. If we break into 88.79, that will set up a captain setup short, and the expectation is to see a bit of a retracement. However, as long as we continue to protect 87.66 and ultimately 86.56, then the market can stabilize and come back up to target number 1. Then from there, we have target number 2 at 91.04 as an area where we can see um, direction in this market. So it's important actually for the market to protect that 88.78, and if we do, then we can start migrating back up to uh, target number 2 without having to take a retracement first. But the structure is definitely shifting, at least for the short term today, to more of a long behavior than a short behavior. But you got to protect 88.79. So we're getting a rally in the broader indices. We had economic news, unemployment, and uh, I guess it's bad news that the market taking as an opportunity to buy. Go figure, right? But that's how you know that the market is shifting, is whenever you have bad news and the market react opposite to what you think it should have acted. It should have went down and the market just went up. So that tells you that the shorts are exhausted here, and you're getting counter trend rallies into this rotation. And we need to be paying closer attention to that type of behavior throughout the day today, right? So we have a channel number 1 established in Russell 2000, and we hit target number 2 in the sequence. That whole rotation started at a switch trade at 26.50 during the night, and we have target number 3 as a target we need to be looking for, which is 1857.4. Now we're coming to gold, and gold broke from that minor channel at 1757 and went through a sequence of price action that took us all the way down to 1700 Good Lord. And now we're getting a counter trend rally in the middle of the range. This is an area where there's going to be a lot of noise as the market tries to figure out what to do next. As long as we continue to trade under a couple of levels here, 1732.5, then we can come back and retest Globex. The fact that we opened Globex and rallied back up, this is going to make it a 1707, 1717. Both those areas are going to be solid support for this price action. So the shorts need to reassert themselves. They would have to do the following: break below 1715, come back to retest Globex, and then bust right through it. And I think we may get more patterns of back and fill to target number 2 than a rotation back lower. So that's something that I wouldn't be interested in going short here or going long here. I'll definitely need more information out of gold. And the type of pattern that I would look into is something that looks like that, where you have a new and fresh harmony wave and you're at the beginning of it. And that rotation and that harmony wave ended at 17-12-7. And now you're getting into this undecided consolidated rotational price action. So we're definitely waiting on gold for more information on that. ES, and that was the beauty yesterday, and we talked about it in the room extensively, and we talked about the fact that if we break the 39.2650, that will set up a captain setup long in ES that will take us to the middle of the range to challenge Globex. And that's exactly what happened yesterday. And it was a beauty. It was a beauty. Captain set up long. It was significant. And you got a captain set up short here that got retested, and the market came in hot and heavy on that one. So these captain setups on the 50 NT Rinko are significant signals for swing traders. If you are looking to put on a position and hold on to it for significant price movements, the captain setup on the 50 NT Rinko and ES is definitely the way to go with that. So now what do we do with this price action? You're getting counter trend rallies, and you're getting 40.17.75 is a critical level to break above it. That will lead us to target number 2, which is 40.40. We have a couple of areas that we need to protect. One is 39.82, and the second one is Globex, which is 39.67.5. Those two levels, as long as we continue to trade above them throughout the day, you should see an upward momentum in this market that can get us to target number 2 of the sequence, which is 40.40. Then we have all these indices, and we're gonna, once the market open up, we'll take a look at them. SPX, I mean, that was a beautiful signal toward the end of the day, and we could see it in NQ as well. And the market shot up all the way to the top end of that range to target number 4 in seconds. Well, it's not seconds, minutes, but good price action. Now let's take a look, maybe a little bit of Bitcoin here. So what is the market doing? The market put a captain setup switch trade short right here, and that was on August the 30th. And the market sold off, came tested it, continued to consolidate in this range, and they're trying to walk it back up to that level again. And they're doing similar pattern, not quite exact, but you have a captain setup failure with a switch trade, and the market most likely is going to go to target number 2, which is 20,572 on that price, and then you could go to higher prices from there. At least that market is stabilizing. And a couple of other notes. Globex for this session is 132, so you got to protect that. And if we fail under that price, then we're going to be consolidating and probably shifting the cloud negative. So that is the point in which I would put stops under. if I'm in a trade in Bitcoin. Right now I'm not actively trading Bitcoin due to the overall consolidation patterns that we're getting off of it. Now let's go to two places. One of them is NASDAQ and NASDAQ 200 NT Rinko. So the market got very, very close. I mean, to 12,015 and a half on NQ and just shifted the 100, shifted the 200, and the market shot up. And that coincides obviously with what we saw in ES that captain set up long on the 50 NT Rinko, and the market just kind of went all the way to Globex. Now we established a new harmony wave. Now let's draw the channels to make sure that we all in sync on what that looks like. All right. So that is the price, and that's the area, which is Globex to 83. That's where the market shifted. And as long as we continue to hold on to the 90s and the 325 and 296s, 325 and 296s, those two levels need to hold in order for us to see target number 2, which is 535.75. So that is what we're going to be looking at. Oops. Right now, as of this moment, here we go. So the market got out of sync just now. So what does that mean? That means I need to see price to reassert itself at 411. If they do reassert themselves at 411, then I will be interested in going long again. Otherwise, the market is taking a break, and we may see a retest of the Globex band, which is target number 2 and 350. Okay, I'm going to post an order just to make sure that my stuff is going out. My orders are going up. Okay, yeah. Here we go. Okay, so those orders are going out a little bit slower than I like them, but they're going out. So we're getting a retest of that Globex band. Good morning, Ken. Good morning, Omer. Good morning, Safe. Happy Friday, everybody. So what is my action plan for the morning? My action plan is be patient the first half an hour, like we always do, and look for price action consistent with what I see on the 200 and the 100, and just constantly read the market in an effective way. And remember, every day, in every way, we're getting better and better and better at trading. Every day, in every way, we're getting better, better, and better at trading. Now, an important observation that we're seeing here is a potential captain setup short on the 200 NT Rinko. I mean, if we break below 322, man, that's going to be a significant type of behavior. And those type of signals are strong. I know I'm looking at that Safe, and I mean, like where we at is very critical right here. The 22 is significant. I mean, this isn't if we break that 22 area, I mean, that puts me in a position where I will start looking at a short in this market, and I may get in before 9 o'clock, because typically those are strong, strong signals. So the market has to defend itself right here. The longs need to defend right here. Really? Wow. Yeah, they sure did. Now, this is the key right here, and this is going to be one of those things where I have to start adding. Here we go, and I'm going to have to add in a range to 50. Why is this thing slow? Let me see here. Come on, I'm trying to add to this thing. Yeah, I think my screen is locked up. Yeah, my screen is locked up. I need more of this. Okay. Where's the 87? I think I'm having issues with my quotes here. Can you, Safe, can you tell me what the quotes is on NQ? 342. All right, so what I'm going to do here is get rid of a bunch of stuff. Yeah, I'm having technical issues here. My stop is like at 400. Let me see. Yeah, I can't even move my orders around. All right, let's see if we can change my connection. All right. Okay, so where are we going to go with this? 22, we're going to go to the whole number and break it, right? That's what they're doing. So let's just be patient with it. I'm having a hard time with the quotes here right now. Here it comes. I'd like to exit some. Here we go. Come on, baby. I'm gonna exit and just work on my quotes here because I'm having a little bit of a quote issue. But I mean, that's basically what I'm looking for. It should go lower. It should go lower right here. Just to let you know. But having technical issues. Okay, I'm gonna disconnect this and exit that. Let's figure out how we can improve the situation here. So we made a little bit of money. I needed to add a whole lot more into that trade. I just didn't feel comfortable adding to it when I'm having a bit of quotes issue. Connection, and here we go. Here we go. Come on. Give me an opportunity to get back in. It's loading. See that captain set up short on the 200 NT Renko. Talk to me, safe, Umair. Where are we at on price action? Are we below 300 or above 300 right now? 295. Here you go. I mean, that's a big trade. You took for 15 points. Good job. Who else took advantage of that trade? Because that one is just a straight up by the book. Oh yeah, I mean, I couldn't resist it either. I mean, I didn't care. I mean, I saw this little run up into the 60 area. I wasn't even remotely worried about it. I was like, okay, I mean, I need to get some more of it. So my system is coming back online. Well, because you moved such a significant amount of price, so it's naturally for you to see a bit of a run up right after. Look at that beauty. Good job, Gary. We got to talk about that one. Good job, Gary. I'm trying to make money here in NQ. So what did you do anyway? Just what did you go long? Long or short? You went short? Yeah, man. I get it. The minute I saw this captain set up, I mean, I was about to load the boat across all. I mean, across that NQ. It just we got this issue with the quotes. 301. 320 now. Okay, so it's bouncing back up a little bit. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. We may get an opportunity to get involved. I mean, they hit Globex, and Globex is at that 297.75, and they're yeah. So from 320 to 305. I mean, so that's just a quick price action going on here. Calculating, huh? Still calculating. So give it a little bit of time, and if it doesn't come up here in the next few minutes, I'll just shut down the system and start it back up. But we made good on that one. I think what 10, 20, 20, maybe 25 points. Something like that. Here we go. Here we go. Just needed to be a bit patient, right? Oh, you said 320. So where are we at on quotes right now? Okay, so what I'm seeing here is behind. Yes, that's behind. Okie dokie. Let's see here what we can do. All right. We're going to go to plan B. And reload all the data. Good morning, Brad. All right, so that's the decision I just made here in that short. Two contracts were up at a grand so far, and I gotta take it and just look for the next rotation and start more working from there. Yeah, sorry guys for this technical issue. It's just things like that do happen. But I'd rather it happen while I make money versus it happening the other way around. Like I can't even move my screen here around. Let's see if I can do it from the bottom. Let's exit this. All right. Let's let it see, finish calculating. So where are we at on price, guys? Where are we at? 361? Really? They're trying to flush people back up? That's interesting. Well, I mean, as long as they don't break that 400, the shorts can get back involved. But we have to see how, because that 61 is kind of important. Come on, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Give me a, here we go. Quotes are trying to catch up. Yeah, quotes are trying to catch up. Okay, good, good, good. 335 right now. Yeah, that's well. It needs to get to 61 and come back. So I'll give it a minute or so, and let's see if price action catches up or the quotes catches up. That's what they're trying to do here. Ah, don't say that, safe. Don't say that. Don't say that. Always focus your mind on that you are getting better and better and better every single day. I know it's Friday, and usually on Fridays we like to make our money early and kind of be done with it, right? Okay, so that's the 61. I mean, obviously I'm still behind on the quotes. Yeah, yeah, and it's Labor Day, so by the way, Monday is going to be half a day. And during half days, we don't typically open the room or trade ourselves. So we're going to be taking that day off and just kind of enjoy it. Yeah, we take our money and run during Friday. But that's a nice start to the day. But I'm telling you, I was about to do 5 to 10 contracts on this deal here. That would have been really a good one. But it is what it is. Are you gonna trade Goran on Monday? I mean, sometimes during that time they really do move, but just kind of half a day. Don't. It's like vacation for me. I take those days off. Okay, where are we at on quotes again? Just want to make sure that we're matching. Safe. What do you see as far as the quotes? Okay, so are we matched up? Okay, I'm gonna send an order out there just to make sure that we are in sync. And okay, so we have problems. Okay, so here we go. 53, 30, 30. Hey man, that's the way to go. Hustle, hustle. Now good, now good. Okay, good deal. So now we're our quotes are matching everybody else, and we are ready to rumble again. So now the market is back in sync on the short side. So I am looking to get short, but I'm looking to get short on an actual signal. And I'm going to go into, you see how they're reacting to the top end of the Globex band, right? They keep getting up there and getting faded and faded and faded. So that tells me that the pressure here is real so far, and we should be get a continuation below the 300 into 75. That's the overall structure right now. It's just we have to find an entry point that's decent to get involved here. And they also broke a captain setup along on the 50. Yeah, I'm not gonna just jump in anywhere. I'm not gonna jump in anywhere. 40. Gonna see if I can get to 40. I mean, if they put a captain setup short here, that'll be tempting. But I rather come in at the beginning of a harmony wave versus trying to get in here and then take a bit of a drawdown in the trade. So I think with the technical issues that I had, I just need to kind of refocus a little bit here. Let's refocus. Okay, so they put a captain setup short. Let's see how far they're going to go with it. Hitting target number 2. Target number 3 is 301. So we're heading toward that number. I mean, that's an entry point here at 17 to get in. But, I'm going to pass on that one. Anytime you see a captain set up short or long on the 200 NT Renko, start backing up that truck. Start putting on some size. That's the environment in which size is an appropriate place to be put on. I mean, this is here again. They're gonna trying to do a captain setup switch trade. They're really kind of teasing me into getting in. No, yeah, they're not gonna entertain me. Nope, they're not entertaining my order there. I liked it. That was a captain setup short with a switch trade. Yeah, that's good stuff right there. And we're hitting Globex. So I don't want to get short a Globex. I'm expecting, if it bounces back, then I'll take a second look at it. But boom. So the 75 is the target for this rotation, and that's what we're seeing right now. So you have the environment, you have the behavior, and we had a signal, and then we attempted to get into the trade. We just didn't get filled, which is fine. Whatever. Let's just keep working. 75 coming up. Target number 4 in the sequence is 263 and a quarter. $75 is hit and coming in. Yeah, thank you, Suarez. Appreciate it. I've been doing this for a minute. I mean, that bad boy came in from a harmony wave in and around 35, and that harmony wave is still moving. I mean, it has not concluded itself yet. It's about to, but that's just a nice rotation right there. But we hit the 75 almost to the tick, and we're bouncing right back up a little bit. So what do we do next with this? That kind of puts us in a position where we have to look at rallies as a shorting opportunity, but we're going to do it uh, by looking at the harmony waves. We need a disconnect of the harmony wave and a reconnect of it. So this way we're getting a fresh and new rotation in this price action. Typically, I'm most aggressive right at the conclusion of this captain setup and in the rally that most likely is going to happen. And that's how they usually operate. They just rally the market up a little bit and then fade it back in. So that's where I get more aggressive. Here, we already moved 2 candles in that direction. So I got to treat it a little bit differently, not as a position trade, but more like a scalp where I can just position in the harmony waves and try to ride it as far as I can. How we doing, Ken, Brad, Gabriella? How are we doing today? Safe, Omer? So it's only 9:04. Why do I feel like I'm done for the day? Pullman, no trades yet. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, we may end up getting a big downward day today. So we are going to be patient. We are going to be patient. We're going to wait. What are we going to wait for? We are in the middle of the range right here on the 200 NT Rinko. So I need more proof from the market around these prices and around Globex before I commit to another trade. This is typically an area where noise will creep in into the market, and you'll see a lot of sideway and failure on both sides of the market. So this is an area in which I need to be, more patience and only take the highest quality of trades. If I get something really big on the 50 NT Rinko or the rest of the charts or 200 or 100, then yes, I will. I mean, like right here, they're putting on switch trade. I mean, the market should go down to 75 again in this coming couple of seconds here. That's what it should do. $75.70, then to the 65.55. That's what the market should do. And if it doesn't, that tells me right there that we are confirmed in this little noisy area, because that tells me that the market is accumulating here. Good morning, Samuel. How are you? Good morning. Good morning. You missed all the fun action. Yeah, see? No. That's why we wait here. That's why we wait. You're always measuring your expectations against what the market is telling you. And if my expectations here is to see 75.70 and the market is not, is bouncy around Globex, and most likely you see what they're doing here, they're going to probably flush it again and then rally it back up. They're going to play around this level few games. Yeah, you can, let me just give you this deal here. Send me an email to this here, support. All right, yeah, just send me an email there and I'll send you one of the classes that we teach, which is the captain setup. And that will give you an idea of what we, one of the signals that we use as far as, you know, if I want to distill the whole strategy in less than one paragraph, I would say the following. I would say I trade when the market is in harmony, which means that I look for three things to happen. One is I gotta identify the environment, and that environment is defined to me with the 200 NT Rinko, which is this chart that you're seeing here, and the 100 NT Rinko. When both of them are facing the same direction, meaning the prior close is either short or long, then that's defined as that environment is short or long. And if they are out of sync, meaning one is long, one short, then that's an undecided market. So that's the definition of uh, the environment. The second thing is a behavior. We have to identify the behavior. See, these harmony waves are a behavior. and price action is another behavior. And I look at those as, for example, if I'm looking to be short, I need the background color to change. I'm simplifying it here, but to change color to red or green if I'm going long. Like right now, we are in a harmony wave long. So that's the definition of behavior. Then the third definition is a signal. So right at the beginning of the new harmony wave, I need an actual signal, and we have few of them that I basically take. So once those three things are in alignment and in harmony, I will be taking trades. So that's the general explanation of the strategy. Then the details. The devil is in the details, right? So I can share with you some of the classes that we have. Just send me an email there. I'll send it to you. All right, back to focus. Let's focus. Good morning, Sheila. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. Okay, so good question, Nishan. How are you? Nice to see you. The most effective in NQ is the 200 and the 100. When it comes to ES, for example, it's the 50 NT Rinko and the 6 NT Rinko. So different markets would have different parameters because they don't move all the same way. If I use a 200 NT Rinko on an ES chart, it's going to be too big of a price action. You would not be sensitive to what happens typically in the day. So for ES is 50 and 6, and for NQ is 200 and 100. And for the other instruments, each one has its own little unique optimized parameters that we trade. So look what happened here. We hit the 75 to the tick. And now we reverse the 200 and the 100. So, okay. Well, that was a trap for a lot of people. And right now we have to be considering the long, but we can't just buy here. We have to get a disconnect of the harmony wave and see how the reconnect of it plays out. But they're trying to flush people here. That's a retest of this captain setup, and the 400 needs to hold, or otherwise you're going to get a blowout of everybody that got short and stayed short in this environment. Good morning, Frida. How are you? Yeah, this one is fast. Yeah, I see what they did there. But the early signs of it is right here. We're talking about we need to see 75, and if I don't see 75, that tells me that the market is not doing what I expect, and I need to be careful with it. Then the market came here and shifted the cloud and gave us a harmony wave long and gave us an inception trade at 301, then started to move, then sped up into this basically stop run that you just saw. Same thing just happened here in ES. And the 4,000, which is target number 3, is going to be somewhat of a resistance area, and you need to see a bit of consolidation in the middle of the range in ES around the 90s to 86 and see a higher low in order for us to participate in the second wave of this rotation. Well, the 75, so why did I say 75? Because you will be closing 2 candles and you will be right at the entry point for this swing trade. Look at this. So you'll be at 72.8 is literally the entry point for this whole swing trade that we see. So if they're going to hold it, they're going to have to hold it right there. And that's why my target was, I put it at 75. It's actually 72, but whatever, close enough. And then you got this captain set up short, and I took it. And it gave us a couple of candles, and that's enough money. That's a lot of money, and it's enough money. So now we're running into a situation where the market can literally blow above that 400 into higher prices, and we need to be seeing how they retest this captain setup short that they put. So now we have a channel, and it's channel number one from a swing trade perspective. So the line in the sand has been drawn, and that line is that 275 to 72. And then you have a couple of other levels. One of them is Globex at 297, and then you have this 347. So all these levels, if we continue to trade above them throughout the day, the odds of breaking the 400 is very real. And I mean, as we speaking, this thing is happening. And a break above it, just don't buy the breakout, buy the pullback that's stable after the breakout. So I wouldn't be like trying to get long at 404 at target one. If it breaks above it, comes back, retest, then I'll play that game. But we are in that channel, and that's an upward channel right now. And look at that bad boy here. I mean, we hit target number 4, and actually here we got back in sync at 75 into the 90. So that they gave us another harmony wave right there. It's no seconds. We don't deal with time. We deal with range. So those are Ninja Trader range charts specific to Ninja Trader, and they are basically telling us, okay, for example, every I don't know why is that. Hold on. I'm going to answer your question here in a second, Suarez. Just give me a moment. Okay, so for example, 20 NT Rinko, you're getting basically every reversal is 40 ticks. It's double the 20 NT Rinko, and every movement is about 2.5 points from one candle to the other. So it's literally measuring um, the range. So if the price moves X amount of points or X amount of ticks, then it builds up another candle. So it doesn't matter what time or how long it takes to do that. It just, as long as we move the distance, then the price will reflect that distance. It's more accurate reflection of what happens in the market because it identifies behaviors that you would never see in a time chart. You could never see a captain setup short, long, or anything in a time chart. You cannot see switch trades or inception trades in a time chart. It just, time charts are deceptive because they don't give you the full story. And truly, the best way to trade the futures market is uh, to constantly look at what pays you, and what pays you is movement and not time. You will get a whole lot more information by looking at a chart that looks like this versus a time chart where you have to wait 5 minutes to the conclusion of a candle. So if your system is based on the closing of any candle and you're waiting 5 minutes, and that's an arbitrary, you know, 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, the market could go up 100 points. So it's really not an effective way to trade. I I don't think that it's hard at all to catch an entry on Renko. I mean, the key is to, if we have a setup, for example, like a captain setup, like this one, I had all the time in the world to place my order at 322 because I know if this candle closes at that price, then that concludes my setup. So I can go in there with a stop limit order or sell stop or buy stop limit and just sit there, park my order and wait for the signal to come in, or if it doesn't, I'll cancel it. So I mean, never had a problem really getting in or getting out of wrinkle bars. I mean, I do it on a daily basis. Now, if the market is ripping, I mean, it's ripping and ripping and ripping. I mean, doesn't matter if you have a minute or a wrinkle bar. It's just, and you can't get in, you can't get in. That's interesting behavior right here. Yeah, it's interesting market. I'd like to get long. I mean, here we go, but we're so close to target number 4. Yeah. Where's that entry? 76. 76 is right here. Okay, I get it. 76 to 90. We're hitting target number 4. Target number 5 in the sequence is 12,421 and a half. So that's what we're dealing with right now. We had bad news. We had bad news and the market really went up on it. That's what you got. All right. So here we go. So that 360, 365 needs to hold. And if we get up to 88 and a quarter, 88 and a quarter, I'm gonna put a stop. Let's make sure that is the right number. Well, I guess it is, huh? Okay, I don't like that at all. I'm gonna get out. Don't like it at all. Nope. Shouldn't have done that at all. I should have just kind of kept on going. That's fine. So look at that right here. Yeah. It's like captain setup, captain setup, captain setup. Seriously? So it's so we need to see how this one is resolving itself, and I may get back in. Really? Okay. That's fine. That's fine. That's okay. All right, let's just keep working. Let's keep working. Yeah. Yeah, we're at the target, but we had that switch trade captain set up on the 30 NT Rinko, and I just took that one. And once that failure happened, I just got out of it. So we took a stop. So that's the first trade. We made 1,000. We get back to 284. No big deal. Let's just keep working. Yeah, yeah. Long, long. Long, long, long. The market is long. 200 NT Rinko and the 100 NT Rinko are long. Target number 5 in the sequence is 421 half. We're at the whole number too. Yeah. Should have thought about that a little bit closer. YouTube, here we go. We're heading toward target number 5. I mean, that's my entry right there was for that run. They dropped it one more time before take it. I think I'm a little bit too tight here in that range, but that's fine. That's what I read, and I just kind of needed to keep it very tight in this area. And now we're heading toward target number 5, and we're having a breakout situation in NQ. And target number 5 is that 421. After that, we'll go to target number 6, and that would be 470. I'm assuming that's you, Shirak, in the room on iPhone. We're looking at ES, the same type of situation that we're seeing here in NQ. We're seeing in ES, and we're seeing target number 3. We had a harmony wave there, and price action broke that 4,000, and off we go higher and higher. So now what did they do here? I mean, that's why you have to be nimble around some of these setups. They put on a captain setup short at 23, and then ran it up a little bit and went down about 50 points. So we operated within that 50 points and made a little bit of money. But the minute the 100 NT Rinko disconnected, that put me in a holding pattern where I'm like, hey, listen, let's pause here because the market may be shifting. Plus, we hit the entry point for the swing trade indicator, and we're breaking up above that captain setup. So the minute that happened, it put me at a pause from continuing to just overcommit to the direction of the short. And that was the right move because the market paused on that 75, 72, and it just bounced right back up. So how do the next question is, how do we get involved here again? It makes it harder, to be honest with you, because now you're dealing with a market that's extending itself and it's breaking out. So we need to see a bit of disconnect and a retest of the range between target number 4 and 5 and see a higher low and a stable behavior so we could just jump back in. Buying up here, it's not something I would be doing. Typically, anything between 4 and 5, target 4 and 5, they tend to fade it and pause this price action. So I'm gonna be patient here and kind of be selective. But ultimately, the market is telling me the 200 and the 100 are in sync on the long side, and we have harmony waves that are long coming in. So that's the direction I need to kind of continue to look into. Where would I start to reevaluate that idea? If we break anything below 397. If we break anything below 397, then the market is disconnecting, no longer in harmony. Okay, then a few things need to happen in order for us to get back into that state. So that would be one spot. Okay, what happened if they run it up to 470 from here? Very possible. I mean, they're trying to run people over here, and that would be a good way of doing it. I have to be, if I was in it earlier, I wouldn't be in it right up here. So the only thing that I would do here is if I already bought, I would hold on and try to sell for a higher price, but not necessarily establish just a new position right here. That doesn't mean it's not going to go higher. It's just from the risk reward perspective, I'm buying at the highs, thinking bigger highs are going to happen. Okay, so they're putting the switch trade here. So the expectation is to see a continuation into the 45 and see how they react to the 50. That's the expectation. So we know our levels. We know what we're going to be doing. We know that we are going to be patient through this. And if it runs up, it runs up. We made a little bit of money. I don't have to chase anything for no reason. We don't chase. So we'll just wait for the market to come to us. And once it does, then I'll take it there. ES, same thing. The entry point for ES, it's always at the beginning of the harmony wave. And where would that be? Right here. So you had trigger trade, excuse me, and a railroad long. You got two signals right here that told us that we need to get into long in ES. So now we're up at these levels. I'm looking to get out of some of my position in those people who are excited about a breakout. I'm not looking to start a position here. And here you go. Yeah. I'll advise start there. Hey, Oscar, how are you? So they put captain setup short right here at that 448. So the expectation is to see prices go to 430. Okay. Retesting it here. Target number 6 is 470. So this is telling me the longs are still there. They're still there. So they didn't give this signal any room. Yeah. Ultimately, we're not going to go against the prevailing trend here. It's just we're trying to measure if some of these signals are having an impact on the market, and they're not so far. Just a pause, and the market is heading toward that 60. Target number 6, actually, 470. So in ES, we're heading toward 4019 and a half. So at what price did we say we need to completely shift? Is that 346? 346 when the market got back in sync on the long side. We had to kind of contend with this captain setup, but ultimately the shift happened right there, and you started to trade above the Globex band, and now you're just churning and churning and churning higher. I mean, if they put another captain setup here, it's just, I mean, I'll take it on the principle of it. 53, and I'll look for a scalp. Really? Wow, look at that. I'll take it for a quick scalp, and I will put a very tight stop. And for whatever reason, I cannot move my orders. Yeah. Okay. I literally I did not intend to do that. It just, I think there's a bit of an issue with NinjaTrader today. But the target is hit 52, and we should be seeing 41. Man, yeah, that was a good one. I think this is a sign for me. This is a sign. And I listen to the signs. And the sign is the following. Blessed, blessed, blessed. So today is the 2nd of the month, and we are, for this week, this is what we've done. We had 500, 2600, 700, 450, and 700 is today. So we are 5 grand for the week, and we have Labor Day coming up. So unless something exceptional comes up, like a big signal, I'm gonna kind of be an observer, more of an observer than actually a trader. And I'm just gonna pocket the $700 for that we made for the day, and gonna call it a week. So we made like 2,400 on shorts and 2,700 on the longs, running about 63. We're making more in average than a losing trade, 1.56 ratio, and all the rest of the metrics are in alignment of what we typically do. So the trades that made it, well, let's go back to that one because that was a significant one. It was that captain set up short at that 24. We waited for the market to rally, and it did, and we got short one contract here, one contract here. We're having a little bit of technical issues, but ultimately we held on to this trade, and we ended up getting out at 311. Then the market kind of sold off into Globex, retested, and our target was 75. And we left it alone and watched the market do what it did here, which is constantly going against that Globex band. And you could see the Globex band with Globex at the middle of it, and they kept fading it and fading it, and ultimately you started a captain setup and a trigger trade. So somebody asked what's the trigger and what's railroad. Railroad is basically the minimum is 2 candles up and a 1 candle reversal. If it happens in the middle of the range, it becomes a railroad. If it happens like where it's at right now, it's a trigger trade. So right now, captain setup, or what I'm looking at, captain setup, trigger trade, and that led to that sequence. Let's take a look here. Market runs up to the middle of the range, minimum of 2 candles, and give you a reversal. That's a railroad. So typically, once the market tests the middle of the range, and the movement off of those has more space to move, and they're desirable to take. But that doesn't mean trigger trades don't work. It's just they all have a place in the trading strategy. So look at this one right here. So this one is a railroad long and an inception trade because it happened between target one and the entry point for the swing trade. So that's that. But guess what? Look at that. That's a trigger trade right here that happened at 60. And now look at the market move. So they do move. And I use them to enter a trade and add to a trade. So that's that first trade that we took. We made a grand out of it. Then here, I think we kind of got in. I think I got excited there. But I got in at target number 4 versus the pullback. And I got myself out of it for a couple of $100 stop. And here I went short. I'm about to kick myself in the rear end here, but I'm trying to move my orders and it ended up getting me out by accident. But that trade had a target of 40s, and now we're seeing it reversing around 38. Okay, but that because you're getting 2 captain setups in a row. So from the perspective of just price structure, that is a behavior that I want to at least scalp. And that's what I position myself into. But anyway, NT8 today is acting up. So I'm not going to push myself to just continue to trade in that type of environment. But ultimately, we made quality decisions in the morning. We made a little bit of money. Good week, good month. We just keep doing what we're doing. So what's going on with Forex? USD is not moving, and the ECB is going to raise rates 75. The relation between stocks and dollar has broken today. Okay. And they are definitely putting the hurts on the shorts. Yeah, we're not too far away from that 500, Goran. Right now, the structure of the market is still long, and most likely we're going to break into 21 and get disconnected, and then we could see the quality of the pullback, and then see if the market gets back in sync again. But right now, the market is quite extended. I mean, you typically don't see them go to 4 and 5 and not pull back. But now they went from 5 to 6, and they put this two double captain setup short. So that tells me that the market is pausing here, taking a breather, and I shouldn't be looking at a long yet. I need the market to restructure itself. Yeah, Ken, that's a good question. And the question is difference between a trigger and an inception. The inception is when occurred at the very beginning. Correct. Between target number one and the entry point for the swing trade system. When that happens, it becomes an inception trade. Yeah. Zubahazi. Okay. Yeah, I'm butchering your name, I'm sure. But I appreciate the compliment. Thank you. Man, that short was spot on. Couldn't have been any better. Couldn't have been any better. Boom. So now the 200 and the 100 out of sync. So what has to happen in order for me to recommit to the long side? And what would happen? Let's talk about that first. The fact that we said the 23, if we break the 23, the market is out of sync. So that's the first thing. So now the market has to go all the way to 447 in order for us to get in sync back on the long side. The market can dip even further into the 90s and reverse, and that will still keep us engaged on the long side. What is an issue is if we break 371. If we break 371 structurally, what the market just did is broke out, trapped the longs, and now they're fading back to the middle of the range to retest the rising channel. That's what they would be essentially trying to do. So that 71 level is quite critical to the health of this momentum, at least for the next half an hour or so. So we need to keep an eye on that level. The longs need to start to reassert themselves. Now, what happened if we break that 71? Then that puts me in a position where I need to start looking for rallies as a shorting opportunity to go to the middle of the range. And then I have to kind of, manage my risk there. And once we get there, and that'll be 312, then I need to definitely, be at the minimum amount of contracts, because that's a typical area where they will stop and bounce. Okay. So I gotta put in my head that the different scenarios the market is about to do. Like if they do this, I will do that. If they do this, I will do that. And you're constantly ahead of the market and not reacting to it. Like there's nothing here that's going to happen that's going to surprise me. Zero. Because I know that the 10 different scenarios that the market is going to do, it's one of them is going to happen. And I have a plan for it, including waiting. Waiting is part of the plan. So, man, what a beauty of an entry. But it is what it is. We got in there, and now the market gave us a new harmony wave, and here you go, 71. So here you go. Yeah, I mean that's what you're dealing with. You got to keep your head on a swivel, and you have to see it coming before it comes. Switch trade on the 200 in Tirinko. Yeah, I mean that's a possibility too. We just have to see. This is where I want to wait. I want to wait for the following. One is I want to see a rally. Then I want to see the quality of that rally, and I want to see the harmony wave disconnect and the new one establish itself. And if it establishes itself on the short side, then that's the direction I'll take. Now they're putting a captain setup long here. See that captain setup short up there, and how the market sold off into it. Now you're seeing the opposite happen. Captain setup long here, and they're fading it up. Up. Good. That means they're going to try to stabilize this price, and then we're going to see if we're going to have an entry or not. So remember, we have to have environment, we have to have a behavior, we have to have an entry, a setup. So the environment right now is short. I'm looking for a behavior in the form of a harmony wave. We don't have that yet. And then we need a signal. So see how they're reacting to that captain setup. By now, you should be a believer in the captain setup. That's all I gotta say. And here we need to see that 410. Okay. So they are making it interesting here. Yep. That 95 into the 91. So another harmony wave. If another harmony wave shows up, and it's going to show up here between 85 and 80. If that happens, then that constitutes a behavior we are interested in. And then at that point, we're going to be looking for a signal that makes sense, that we can measure risk against. And then we are looking for a break below 70 at that point. If that happens, if it doesn't happen, then the market is speaking to us right now. Okay. So like right now, that's not what should be happening if the market is really ready for a short. Because, why are we having a harmony wave long up here when it should be happening down there? So now I'm comparing what I expect to happen with what the market is telling me. So if you have an environment but you don't have a behavior and you don't have a signal, you don't have a trade. And right now the market is just basically backing and filling. And they put a switch trade right here, so that should push up a little bit to target, probably target number 2. And they're trying to fade this. Now, the shorts would have to start getting worried around 422. Because typically, whenever you do this uh, and come back to retest the 22 to 35, you dug in so far into that move that the high probability of a reversal. So the 22 to 36, if we start digging through it, the shorts may be in trouble here. Another thing, look at ES. ES put a captain setup switch trade right here. So for the shorts to prove themselves, they needed to come in at that 80, 85 and put on another harmony wave. And it just simply did not. That's what we were waiting on. And the market shifted. So that kept me away from getting excited about the short market and putting on a trade. Then you got this captain set up long at 77. Money saved is money earned here. Congratulations, Gabriella. Good job. Good trading. Money loves structure. When you put a good structure around what you do, money tend to gravitate toward you, and that's what you're experiencing there. All right, so let's take a closer look to on ES. So what I need to see in order for me to start getting short in ES is the cloud need to shift, and I need to see a harmony wave coming in on the 6 NT Rinko, and that will be on a scalping basis, which means that the price needs to be in and around that 4,005. And you need a behavior that is similar to this in a way. Right here. Okay. So if we start seeing that, then yes. Then you got that captain setup and switch trade that the market is putting on here. So that whole zone between that 4,002, 4,002 and a half to the 6 is a good support area. So you almost have to wait for the market to break that whole area, then retest back up in order to get short. And that's what we're experiencing here in ES. See that behavior right here is a solid behavior, and you could tell every time they come up to it, they bounce it. They come up to it and they bounce it, and you have a swing trade with an entry at 4,008. So ES has a lot more work to do to be short right now. So I wouldn't be just jumping anywhere. But again, is if you get the cloud and you get the harmony wave, then that's when you start going short. And NQ is starting to fade here a little bit too. So you clear the 4,002. So as a rule based, absolutely, Sheila, absolutely, because you don't want to be caught up in this 2.5 to 6 level where they can fade it back up. You just don't want to do that. So you want that level to break. Then you need a new harmony wave short to come in, and that will set you up to where you start picking up momentum on the downside. But if that is not present, this price structure is stable enough to where you could hit target number 1 and start coming up to target number 2, which is 40.22. So then I'll go to NQ because in many ways they're very similar. The shorts did not want to see a close above 410. And right now they retested this pullback and they're holding. So you're getting a market that is consolidating right now in these ranges. And a couple of things need to happen on the short side. The first one is 385. If we break 385, then the market is back in sync on the short side. That's the environment. Now we need a new harmony wave to come in to start shorting, but I am going to be I'll be very quick with my scalps because we're coming into the middle of the range, which is 376. So if we close at 86 and 76, almost I have to wait for a break below 368 before I start going short, because they tend to come in and bounce this market up in and around the middle of the range, exactly like what they did here. So this is an area where more patience is really important, and you need to see a complete breakdown of the full structure before you participate. So the shorts on NQ are out of sync. Basically, the whole structure is out of sync. Okay, let me see here who's talking. That's Ken. The whole market is out of sync here in NQ and also in ES. And we're looking for a breakdown below 68 to go short, to start going short on NQ, and we're looking for a breakdown below 4002 on NQ if we were going to go short. Absolutely, Ken. Absolutely. You got to pay attention to the middle of the range, because that is, in many ways, the market, the only true mode of market behavior is this. It's an expansion and contraction. Expansion and contraction. That is the truest form of market behavior. And they tend to expand away from the middle of the range and collapse into it, consolidate around it for a little bit, then expand back up. And that is the true nature of markets, because in many ways that's the true nature of how humans behave. They expand in energy and contract in energy. They expand in energy, they contract in energy. And that mimics itself in market behavior and people behavior. None of them do, uh, Shorak. None of them is closer to an hour. Really, it's so different, and it's dependent on the day. The 200 NT Renko, for example, take a while for a candle to close, so that is in essence closer, if you want to call it, to an hour chart. But I've seen them rip through 4 or 5 candles in matter of 10 minutes. Did that captain short meet that expectation? On a scalping basis, but the 200 and 100 not in sync. Yeah, I mean, I've seen a 200 NT Renko take a couple of hours in order for it to develop. That's a good one. I like it, Omer. I like it there. And you're breaking that captain setup. So, I mean, there is a bid here. There is a bid for sure in this market. So, if that's your expectation, Ken, then what did the market happen? What did the market do? And how would you interpret that? So if I look at the 200 NT wrinkle, all the behavior and movement is happening within this channel. And what was expected from the market is to follow through and start to hit that rising support at 336. And the market is not showing that behavior at all so far. Now we've seen where the market can bounce back up, flush everybody close to these 2236 level and then come back down. So we're not out of the woods yet, but it doesn't look too hot for the shorts yet. Like we shouldn't be doing this. I mean, they are consolidating. So the pivot points are the following. Initially, a break below 385 will lead to the market being in sync. And then a better situation is a break below 368 in order for us to start looking at rallies as a shorting opportunity. So that is the pivot point, the first pivot point. If we continue to do what we're doing right now and continue to churn and trade between the 20 to the 36, then there's a good probability that we'll break above the 450. And that will put a switch trade long in NQ to the long side. Then the market will be on its way to 500. So that is the critical level right here. It's 448. Okay. So the market either will get in sync on the short side and give us a confirmation below 68, or we leave it alone to run up to the 450, and then we'll start looking for pullback as a buying opportunity. Anything in between those two levels is going to be a lot of churning noise where the market will just give you false moves and continue to build stops on both sides of the market. Then eventually it'll go one way or another. So I don't want to get stuck in any of this noise, and it's noisy, and it's a Friday. And I'll wait for those two pivots to happen, and when they happen, I know what to do. Man, they're going to put a switch trade right here. If they close this candle up, this one right here at 28, then you got yourself a captain setup switch trade long, and that should punch you to 3640, target number 3 in the sequence. If they put on that decision, or basically close above 28. And it looks like it's bidden that way. It has to close above there. Okay, so that didn't happen. That's fine. If it didn't happen, it didn't happen. No signal. Noisy. So you see this. They put a captain setup short. They run it down. They put a captain setup long. They run it down very small. If they hold on to this level here at 22, they can run back up to target number 2. This is a lot of just slow, grindy noise that is not necessarily tradable. And you could tell, but look at how many how many clouds did we establish in half an hour? Like 3, and all of them are within, I would say, 30 points from each other. That is not movement. That is just noise. You got to recognize that. Most noise happen around the middle of the range too. And avoiding noise is the most healthiest thing you could ever do in trading, because you spend so much emotional energy when you're stuck in these ranges trying to figure out if your trade is going to work out or not. I'd rather position myself uh, in places where it's either a quick stop or a lot of money, and it needs to happen quickly. Just let me know. Don't stick me in a range and chop up, and I'm sitting here trying to figure out if my purpose in life. I don't like that. Yeah, I see that. I see that ES captain set up short. So here you go. The entry for that is around that 11 and a half with a stop above the 14, and you're looking for a run down to the 8, but you're still running into the same issue that NQ is running into, which is you're in a very range bonded market, and any trades that you're getting here needs to be scalping in nature. So ES, if it breaks below that 405, that'll be a switch trade short, and that should get you to 400. Yeah, so we know. Okay, well, that I'm glad to hear that, Omer. Yeah, I think this market is going to resolve itself higher. The way it's moving, it's really setting itself up for a run up to 40. Here it comes. And definitely the shorts are not showing conviction here. Again, we're talked about the 68. So you want to break the 68, then we'll talk. But these captain setups are not showing much conviction, and they're making a higher low. Yeah, that's another thing that I'm seeing, Omer. Yep. That's exactly what I'm looking at. You got the 50, the 35, the 30, excuse me. As all of them are. Yeah, Frida, it's definitely choppy, and that's why we're avoiding this section altogether. But I need to read through the noise and figure out who's winning the narrative here. Look at these bastards. True to its form, noise. So that is, see, that's a good observation, Omer, because that's why I keep kind of verbalizing a lot of this stuff, because I need to see what my expectations are and how the market is reacting to what I think should happen. And if I'm out of sync, meaning, if I'm expecting a run and it sells, I'm expecting a buy and you know, it sells off, and I'm expecting a short and runs against it, that tells me that what I suspected to be a consolidation is truly a consolidation. Like right now, they're putting a captain setup long, right? At 410. What's the expectation here? Is to see 20, 25, and potentially a break above 35 to 40. Okay. What's the stop of that idea? 400. Okay. So this is a good area where it's another higher low in essence. And the market needs to just really kind of, draw the line between that 490 and just continue to hold that area. But, every time we get up there, they just faded and they faded and they faded. So there's no momentum here, a lot of choppiness, and we're successful at one thing. We're successful at avoiding it. And trust me, it is successful to avoid this. That is a trade that I'll take every single day. And you got other things going on. You're trading around the whole number, 400. Hey Juan, how are you? Yeah, good to see you. So we break 425. We'll set the stage for a run to 45 with a stop against the 13. Hey Chima, how are you? How are you, sir? What's going on? $25. They had to break above that 25. They still do. Do you trade any today? Break the 25. You got to break the 25. Okay. No 25, and they're fading. Oh, and there's another captain setup on the ES too. Oh, look. It's just a consolidation, Gorn. I mean, they're giving us the impression of a selling pressure here. Let's see how convincing they are. We know what we're waiting on. I mean, that 80, 87 area, which we're about to hit, that would get the market in sync on the short side. Then I'd rather see a break below that 65 before I start looking at any shorts. And if that tests well, then you're getting a target, and that target into the 300, low 300s. Yeah. Okay. So that first part of it is happened. Now let's see if the second part of it happens. Yeah, because a day like this, you need confirmation, and they're triggering this dead center into the middle of the range. So that's not an area where I want to just be aggressively short at all. I mean, if they can run it up and give me another harmony wave, okay, and then I get a signal that's halfway decent, then I'll give this a shot. But this is an area where they are known to just chop you up. So any trades you take, make sure that it's a scalp and you're taking your profits and you're moving on. NT20 give a signal. Okay, tell me what the signal. Hey, George. I believe you have a software trial with us. Is that correct? Because I'll send you the harmony trading class that we teach, and that will explain the signal in great details, and it comes with a video and a PDF. And basically what it is, it's a minimum of a 4 candle consolidation and a breakout. So this way, let me show it to you right here. That's a captain setup. Short. So a minimum of 2 candle run up in this case, then 4 candle consolidation, where the market just refuses to go anything above this 418, and the 4th candle closes lower, and that will trigger a captain setup short. That will, then you got targets that we look at. The same thing happened in ES just a few seconds ago. Captain setup short on ES, and a run up of minimum of 2 candles. Then you got this 1, 2, 3, 4 candles in a row where the market just capped the price and could not fail to go higher than the 15, and then close the 4th candle lower, and that will trigger that signal from 12 all the way to 4, hitting target number 2 of this sequence, just to watch it run back up. But that's fine. There's plenty of money in that. Does that make sense? And again, I believe that you are part of correct me if I'm not wrong, you requested a trial and you got the software, but I'll send you the class, the harmony trading captain setup class. See that close and see that reversal. That's exactly why I said we need a 68 sell-off in order for us to even remotely try to go short in this market. Because it's just, I've seen this so many times. They do this exact same pattern often, and it's in many ways is a trap. But if they break the 68, that will pick up momentum to retest the top end of the Globex band, and that's what I would need to see before I commit. So now you got this market trapping more people around this range, and the chances now of us hitting 450 just went higher. They're slicing and dicing people. That's what they're doing right here. And we did not fall for any of it. So George, does that make sense? The explanation. Obviously, you would need more info, but you could reach me out there too. So we got about 10 minutes. 10 minutes to the top of the hour. And people on streams and Facebook and YouTube and Trade Arcade, if you feel like this stream has helped you in any way, you could help the channel by subscribing, by sharing, by commenting and liking, and hit that like button. It helps the channel grow, and we definitely appreciate it. Here you go. I don't even know what that question is. 1285 long till we end the video. I mean, you meaning the stream that we have here? Can't tell you what to do, but I can tell you what I see. And structurally, the market right now is in consolidation. And the behavior that we just did right here, meaning that switch trade that they put at 423, is really positioning the market for a run up toward the 40s and the 50s. And if we get to the 40s and the 50s, then that market means that the market put a switch trade long to the long side, and we have a good chance of really hitting 500. All that I just said will go away the minute we break 366. So as long as we continue to trade above that 366, we have a good shot, not 100% shot, just a good shot at getting to the 450 and close and start migrating higher. That reversal, that V reversal, is really designed to trap people, and they're figuring this out right about now. And they're going to find out that they got had, and they're going to start trying to cover. And you should see it coming in soon. But again, you break 366, then you're destroying that whole structure. Yeah, they're starting to realize it. Starting to realize it. And like I said earlier, my decision points were below that 66, 68, and above that 450, and anything in the middle of that, I'm kind of letting it, let them figure it out on their own. So as long as neither of these levels are hit, I'm just sitting here waiting on one or the other to happen. Okay, yeah. So I mean, you're getting I'm seeing that too again here. That, they put on a captain setup short, but you need a confirmation of one candle in your favor, because now you have a captain setup short here, another one here. So you need one more candle confirmation. And if we break this, and it looks like we're about to, this is going to be the catalyst for that push higher. I mean, I see the market building momentum here. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to build stops and build momentum. And we're so close to this thing moving. Here we go. You break 35 on NQ, then you're going to start getting speed. And this market cannot break that 14. Really? Yeah. A lot of noise, a lot of noise, a lot of noise. And NQ, I mean, that switch trade right here is also an issue. So they need to break the 85. They need to break, because I mean, if they put on another reversal here and break that 1350, that will set up a 6-prong captain setup. So that's, I mean, you would expect a fade toward the 10 off of it if that candle that we're seeing here closes lower. But again, the levels that I'm going to be looking for my decision making process is either a break below 68 or above 450. And what I'm seeing right here is just a market that's building. And the switch trade in NQ is telling me that there is a serious defense happening between that 90 into the 65. There is a lot of demand for price action there. So that's going to be the thing that's going to, in my opinion, is going to shift the needle in the long, on the longs. But again, I don't have any decisions here. I know my levels, and we're not there yet. Sometimes you just need more information. And this is where we at for the day. We made this decision, second decision, the third decision. So we are up 718 for the day on a Friday. That's good enough. And when I find myself kind of constantly wanting and looking and waiting, and we're already at 11 o'clock, then that's absolutely the sign for me to be just kind of done on a Friday. Yeah, just make your money early on and just kind of go do something fun. Okay, here we go. Here we go. If they build up another harmony wave on the NQ, then that's going to be the trigger that's going to get this market moving to close that 450. Yeah, the structure that we see here is what is making me biased toward the run up to 450. It's a switch trade, and they protected and hit the middle of the range twice, protecting that 84, the 90 to the 60 level, 65 level. So that is the reason why I'm biased toward an actual run up. But I don't have signals to go either long or short right now. The market is actually out of sync. The big decision we made today is recognizing that we entered a consolidation of prices, and that's a consolidation which we need to read closely, and we avoided any trades within that consolidation. That is the biggest decision of the day. The biggest decision is not making money out of here, which is good. I mean, trust me, I'll take it every single day. But the bigger decision for me is my capacity to learn that, hey, listen, we entered a range. Read, don't trade. And I continue to read and figured out that this personality is not constructive to me putting any trades. And that's the big win. Take care, Pool Man. Good job. Good job. All right, guys. That's it. It's 11 o'clock for me. Hopefully, you guys made a little bit of money here and enjoyed the stream. And we will do this again, not Monday, but Tuesday. So we're Monday. We're going to be off in our premium room and also on stream. And don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and hit that bell button. Good job, the H. +310. We'll see you guys later.